First, it's great to be here. Thank you all for the opportunity. As the mayor of Montgomery, Alabama, the first black mayor in the 200-year history, it's an honor to be in your country and in your city, learning so much about the diaspora and the interconnected ways that we can work together. I think my biggest takeaway from this symposium is our ability to take a shared history and turn that into progress for all of our people. And when you consider the plight of African Americans in the United States, and you consider the plight of Black and brown people in this country, they're very similar. And I think it's up to us to come up with solutions in our time, using technology, using innovation to help those who have been marginalized and disenfranchised for years. And that's what this conference has been about. So thank you to Cordell Carter and the Festival of Diaspora and everyone who's been participating in this. I think the ability to tell our own stories is priceless. Whether you're in the United States or you're here in Brazil, when we think about being able to tell our history, it's very important that not only we understand where we started, but where we are and how we can move forward and progress to a better and brighter tomorrow. That means being able to tell our own stories from our perspective and from our lens. And in the United States, we have had challenges, and we continue to deal with challenges around telling the true history, around race and reconciliation. And it's important that we not only acknowledge that in the United States, but we acknowledge it throughout the Americas. And so the opportunity to tell that story from a Black perspective is something that's so urgent and so important that it cannot be understated, just what it means to not only the people, but leaders and those abroad to understand more about how things have come to pass right here in this country, no different than they have in the United States. So I congratulate you on coming up with this concept, and I want to encourage you to stay the course, to stay motivated and inspired to tell the stories of Black people here in Brazil, in South America, and throughout the Americas, because that is important for all of those of us throughout the diaspora to understand our interconnectedness and to understand how we can work together and what we have in common so that we don't focus on the things that keep us apart. If we do that, then we can help more people and we can have a greater impact throughout the Americas. So congratulations, but maintain the support and continue to stay encouraged, because telling our story, telling our history is mandatory for all of us, lest it be erased, lest it be overlooked, lest it be whitewashed, and lest it be minimized. And that's the importance of being able to tell our story in truth and in true reconciliatory fashion. As the mayor of the birthplace of the civil rights movement, home of Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr., where he started a movement through everyday people. They didn't have mayors, they didn't have governors and presidents. It was just the will, it was their faith in God and their courage and commitment to bring about change that inspired the civil rights movement in the Americas. And when we think about what that led to in the United States, it led to policy, it led to legislation, it led to improvement, but not perfection. So we don't want to think that it happens overnight, or that just because things don't go our way for a week or a month or a year, that we give up the fight. We have to continue to push forward. We have to continue to think of the strengths of our ancestors and continue to think about those lessons that we have been taught to bring about greater change for generations that come behind us. That's what we've learned in Montgomery, Alabama. That's what we've learned in the United States of America. And I know that's what you have learned here in Rio and in Brazil. And we want to be a part of moving and advancing the agenda forward to help each and every person realize their true equality through equity, and making sure that we use our platforms to bring about greater change and greater impacts for those who don't have a voice, for those who may feel like they are left out or left behind and looked over. And we want to make sure that we can help from the United States in Montgomery, Alabama, from the African American Mayors Association, and building bridges, building alliances and relationships with Brazilians all across this country, here in Rio, Salvador, Sao Paulo, everywhere that we can, to share our story, to hear your story, and to make sure that we work together to bring about change. But let's continue to share our history, be proud of our history, and let's be motivated by that history to bring about hope and change for each and every person that deserves it.